Hello. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Happy Fudgy Friday. I'm going to jump right in because I'm so excited to talk about this topic. Intuitive eating is one of my favorite things to talk about. It's been an incredibly powerful tool in my own life, and it's one of the pillars of what I coach on in my work, and something I'm incredibly passionate about. So, let's dive right in. What is intuitive eating? So intuitive eating is also called mindful eating. It is the idea that you eat according to what your body is telling you. So you eat when you're hungry. You don't eat when you're not. You eat what you're hungry for when you're hungry for. And you also, you eat when you're hungry and then you stop when you're full. That's it. It's pretty simple. And it's not something that's completely foreign to us, though. We are, when we're babies, we intuitively eat. We cry when we're hungry, and then we stop eating when we're full. Like, that's it. It doesn't start to change until we are starting to eat solid foods. We get influenced by, who is providing us with our food. And then as we get older, the diet and media, we're also influenced by now the internet and social media and everything that's all over that about what we should be eating and what we shouldn't be eating. It's insane the influences that we have on what we think we should and shouldn't eat. So my personal journey with intuitive eating is kind of interesting because I actually started doing it without even realizing that it was intuitive eating. I kind of stumbled upon that this was the whole methodology and philosophy, which is amazing, and I love when that happens. So it came to me at a point in my life where I was putting really genuine health goals at the front of my priority list. Like, I was in a very big space of realizing, you know what, I have a lot of self-love work to do. I have a lot of work on myself to do. I put myself as a priority. And for the first time in my life, I really made real health goals. So I've always been active, but it always came from a place of like, well, I got to get skinnier. I got to be thinner. I have to have a six-pack. I have to look a certain way. But this time, it came from a place of, I want to be happy, healthy, and confident. That's what I want to feel being healthy. And when I came from that place, I made a commitment. I have long been a binge eater. That's something I've struggled with. And so in this time, I let myself be open. If I had cravings, I would let myself have them. If I was going to commit to myself, I said I'd move my body every day. And it was actually through moving my body every day that I began to realize how many messages my body was actually sending me and how to listen to them and how to decipher them. And there was a lot of trial and error between, okay, what exactly is my body telling me and what is its reaction to when I put this food in my body or that food in my body in this amount, and all that stuff. And it's a practice, and I still practice it today. But the more and more you practice it, the easier it becomes. I was pleasantly surprised in how I knew this was something different, because I think immediately people think, oh, I can eat whatever I want when I want. And yes, that is essentially what intuitive eating is, but quickly you will find out that if you take that mentality and go, okay, well, I'm going to have pizza and cookies and burgers and fries for the next week of my life because that's what I want to eat, your body is going to react in a way that you'll quickly find out it doesn't feel good. Your body's not getting what it needs, and it's going to tell you that. So for as long as I can remember, I've always not liked salads. I've never been a salad person, but when I started intuitively eating, I felt my body craving salads. And that was a huge thing for me, like craving fresh produce, fresh veggies, fresh fruit. Like, that was huge for me. And that's what's available to you when you intuitively eat and let that part go. When you kind of let the restrictions go, when you let all the rules go, that's available to you. So the thing about intuitive eating and the part about coaching it is that it's not a rule set. It's not like this 90-day diet. I can't tell you what foods to eat, what foods not to eat, because it's all coming from your body. Your body is the answer book. You have it all. You just got to listen to it. And so I'm going to give you 3 guidelines that I think really kind of encompass what's available or what's necessary when you choose to intuitively eat. So the first one is you got to let go of the diet mentality and food rules. So I talk about diet mentality a lot because it is so incredibly powerful, and I think a lot of us aren't even aware that we think of it in this way. So talked about this in the past, and I'll certainly link related videos about food language and good and bad foods, because when you eat intuitively, you gotta level the playing field. Food is food. It's not good. It's not bad. It is just food. You gotta let it go, because you gotta let go of the shame that might be associated with eating a bad food. You gotta give away the power that might come from eating a good food. You gotta level it out, because food is just food, and that's something that is accepted in this type of eating. And also, counting calories or counting macros, like, your body doesn't understand numbers. So when your brain is saying, oh, well, I've already hit my my carb, macro for the day, or I'm already over 200 calories in my day, and you're still hungry, your body doesn't understand that. So that part also has to be let go. You gotta almost kind of forget everything that modern society has taught us about how to eat, because intuitively our body doesn't know that stuff, but it does know what's best for you. And now I should say you're letting go of the food rules, but I also want to mention that, like, really philosophies and principles that are incredibly important to you, like, totally can keep. Like, for me, example, like, eating produce from and food from farmers market is incredibly important to me for so many reasons. Obviously it tastes better, that's huge, but it's really important to me to be contributing to my local economy, and my soul is just so fulfilled when I connect to the people that are growing my food. So that's something that I never gave up during my intuitive eating. And so certainly, if you're vegan or don't eat meat or pescatarian, whatever you follow, any food philosophies that are really important to you, not necessarily have to let them go, but I do encourage, if you're jumping into intuitive eating, that you use this as a check-in about those food philosophies, because you want to check in to make sure that they're coming from a place of positivity and a place of love. Because if they're coming from a place of fear or negativity, that's going to conflict with this kind of free flow of intuitive eating. So and I'm not saying they're right or wrong. It's just a nice kind of check-in spot to see, okay, where am I at in these food philosophies that I have, and what do they still mean to me? Because sometimes those will change throughout your life. So the second guideline of intuitive eating is you got to be able to trust your body. Wholly, undoubtedly trusting your body, because that's the answer book. That's where you're getting all of your information from. And if you don't trust it, this isn't going to work. A lot of us are at war with our body. We're fighting with our body. We think we're ugly. We think we're gross or fat. And that negativity is a war. It's going to completely mute out any messages that our body is sending us, because you're just going to brush away like, oh, my body doesn't know what it's doing. I don't trust it. It's not good. So you really have to, kind of like repairing trust in a relationship, you really have to reconnect your relationship with your body and build up that trust again, so that you can really truly listen to it and then follow through on what it's telling you. So for me, that's going to look like different things for everybody of how you rebuild that connection. For me, it was moving my body every day. It was moving my body in ways that I enjoyed doing. So running, spinning, yoga, sometimes just going for a nice long walk. Whatever it looks like for you, could be meditating, could be whatever it is for you, but reconnecting to your body. Sometimes even just like really admiring yourself in the mirror, which sounds really funny and kind of corny, but sometimes it takes that to really reconnect to your body and where you are as you are, trusting it. And the other guideline, the last guideline I'll give you, is that this is a process. It's a practice, and it's really important to be open to it, because you're going to try some things are going to work, things aren't going to work, and it's really important to just be open to all of it, because that's where you're learning. You're going to grow and learn the more and more you do this, and you'll be able to better decipher what your body's telling you, better connect to it, and know exactly what it is that it's asking for or telling you. And in that process of listening to your body and the trial and error, you have to be kind to yourself. If you're going to have days that are like, oh, I maybe ate too much, or I ate the wrong thing, and my body's not happy, it's not feeling good. But you need to take that in a perspective of, great, I'm learning. Now I'm getting to know my body even more, instead of, oh, I messed up, I'm wrong, I did that badly. You want to keep a very, very kind tone with yourself, because you're learning. You are absolutely learning. I mean, if you think about, babies learning how to eat, little kids learning how to eat, they're not getting hard on themselves. They're learning. That's just what happens. So kind of, again, we're kind of relearning how to eat and according to our bodies. So being kind to yourself will be more conducive to listening to more of your body's messages. And my favorite part about, staying open is that you got to be able to give yourself permission to enjoy eating again. Food can be incredibly pleasurable, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, I think it's a great part of food. It's part of why I love it so much. It's one of those great parts of our lives that give us pleasure. And giving yourself permission to do that and explore that is huge. A huge, huge thing. I think a lot of us, especially surrounded by diet mentality, have a shame around eating, and it's simply not true. So when you're being open to this process, also there's going to be changes. Women, I know, we all know there's a week out of the month that our cravings and food goes a little haywire. But really riding those waves of the changes that your body's going to send you, that your, whatever might be coming up for you, it's going to change. What you want now versus tomorrow versus the next month versus next year is going to be different. And allowing and being so open to that change is really one of the pillars of intuitive eating. So I will wrap this up by saying, intuitive eating is incredibly powerful because it's kind of this like umbrella to so many other topics that are so drastically related, like, self-love and connecting to your body positivity, really loving yourself again. These are all things that are kind of umbrellaed under this practice. And so it also makes it so incredibly powerful especially as a health coach. That tool is incredibly powerful to transform people's health, transform people's lives. So if you have any questions whatsoever about, eating intuitively, mindful eating, starting this, how do I even begin, where do I go? It is the absolute center and pillar of what I coach my clients on, what I work on, and I think it is just one of the most magical things that is available to us in our health, and it is my mission to spread this to everyone and everybody so that they can enjoy a blissful relationship with their food. That is absolutely the goal. So please don't hesitate, even if you just have questions about it, to message me or email me. Hit me up. I'm on Instagram and Facebook here. You can email me anywhere. So I hope you all have a fantastic Friday. Have a great weekend, and make sure to come back next Friday for a brand new video. Bye.